live. Let's see. Hello and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information comes from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History,
Historical calendar,
and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything we gather throughout the show, check the underbar, the description, whatever it's called. I am, of course, Aoxander.
Dr. Lunk.
And you are you. Anyway, on with the show. Today is Freya's Day, also known as Friday, February 25th, 2022.
Yep.
Starting us off...
I'll start it.
Yep, go ahead.
Starting us off in 138, Roman Emperor Hadrian adopts Antonius Pius as his son, effectively making him his successor.
Dang.
Yep.
And that's when you're glad to be adopted. I'm adopted,
Yeah.
you know. And look at how good I turned out. Woo! Jumping up to 628, Khosrow II, the last great Shah of the Sasanian Empire, which is now Iran, was overthrown by his son Kavada II.
It happens in history.
Yep.
Sons overthrowing fathers, sons killing father.
Fathers killing sons.
Somehow you do. Oh, never mind. I was about to quote fucking Zeus in God of War 2. The cycle must end.
The cycle must end, my child.
Fun
Look
fact.
at this madness you have brought upon the world.
I know. But yeah, fun fact, Kratos says the same thing in God of War 4.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true. Like, because Atreus becomes Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also in the 1336, 4,000 defenders of Pelensi commit mass suicide rather than be taken captive by the Teutonic Knights.
You know what? I'm not entirely sure, but you know what? Let me see. Is this that one place that's on top of a mesa?
I think so.
Let's see here. Images. Well, yeah, it is, but this is not what I was thinking. No, what I was thinking involved Rome. It was some defenders like on top of like a literal mesa, like 100 feet high.
Damn.
Caesar actually started building an earthen ramp, like that stretched for about a mile, so that way the siege weapons can get up there. And then they all committed suicide rather than being taken. So
Yeah, they were a death before dishonor.
exactly. Well, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. We're vastly approaching a world where that's going to become a reality. Jumping on up to 1836, a mere 500 years later, Samuel Colt is granted a United States patent for his revolver firearm. Pew,
Yep.
pew.
A lot of his famous revolvers. The Navy revolver is one of them.
Yep. The Army, the Air Force, Does the Air Force have a firearm?
I don't know.
Does the Air Force, the USAF, have a standard issue sidearm? The Sig Sauer P320 model. Let's see, what is this? Sig Sauer.
That's a modern gun.
Well, that's their standard issue sidearm. Interesting. Looks like this one has a little bit of an extended mag. Anyway, jumping up to 1843. Why don't you take this one?
In 1843, Lord George Paulet occupies the Kingdom of Hawaii in the name of the Great Britain in the Paulet Affair of 1843.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing something about this. Like, I was watching once again Geographics, and he was talking about the Kingdom of Hawaii, and there's one incident where, uh, without the authority of the United Kingdom, this guy claimed a land, in their name, and they're just like, hold up, wait a minute, hold up, we don't want a political incident.
Yeah. Britain's like, hold my tea.
Hold my tea. Hi there, chap. Hold my tea. Would you be a love? Thank you, thank you.
Chap, hold this.
In 1870, Hiram Rhodes Revels, a Republican from Mississippi, was sworn into the United States Senate, becoming the first black U.S. citizen ever to sit in Congress. Nice.
Yeah. And a Republican.
Yeah, hey, look at that. Put that in your tuba and blow it. Liberals? I don't know.
Also in 1875, Guardian Emperor of Qing Dynasty China begins his reign under Empress Dowager Regency.
Interesting. I think, who was the Empress of China? Empress of China, 1900. Yeah, same bitch. Yeah, this is remember remember I talked to you about China 1900 genocide.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, remember in 1900 they started killing all Westerners, and Empress Dowager Cixi, that's the same person. She ordered the extermination of all Westerners and non-native Chinese within the country in the year 1900. So they are culturally xenophobic. Jumping on up to 1912, Mary Adelaide, the eldest of 6 daughters of Guillaume IV, became the first reigning Grand Duchess of Luxembourg. Cool.
Yep, that is cool.
Yeah. Then 4 years later, in 1916, in the Battle of Verdun, a German unit captured Fort Douaumont, a keystone of the French defenses, without a fight. I've heard about several of these forts along the Western Front. Let me see if this is the one that I'm thinking of. I think it might be. I don't know. But yeah, look at all the underground. What?
Okay.
Would you mind telling us what happened in 1918?
Yeah. In 1918, German forces captured Tallinn to virtually complete the occupation of Estonia.
Ah, dang. So yeah, this is all during World War One. Moving on to 1921, after World War One ended, Georgian capital Tbilisi fell to the invading Russian forces after heavy fighting, and the Russians declared the Georgian Soviet Socialist Republic. Well, that's a little ominous. It's been 101 years since then, and look at what Russia's doing to Ukraine right now. History repeats itself. My goodness. You there, Sohan?
Yes, I am. Also, in 1932, Hitler have been stateless for 7 years, obtains German citizenship when he is appointed a Brunswick state official by Dietrich Klagers, a fellow Nazi. As a result, Hitler is able to run for Reichsbaden in the 1932 election.
That's interesting. So that tells me, did Hitler give up his, because he was Polish, right?
No, he was Austrian.
Austrian, that's right. Did Hitler, what's the word? No, why do I keep saying Polish? Austrian citizenship. Did Hitler had terminated? Okay, yeah, he had terminated Austrian citizenship in 1925. He did not acquire German citizenship for almost 7 years. So he was literally a vagabond. He had no nation to call home.
Yeah.
That's insane. Jumping on up 365 days later in the year 1933, the launch of the USS Ranger occurred at Newport News, Virginia. It was the first purpose-built aircraft carrier to be commissioned by the U.S. Navy. And by that, we mean like in World War One. And since then, the majority, up until then, all aircraft carriers were actually converted other vessels, like, tankers, cargo ships, even in some cases like, warships, like battleships and such, had be, just slap a deck onto that baby and there you go, aircraft carrier. But this was the first one to actually be designed from the beginning to be a carrier vessel, CV. So, it's interesting. Let's see what this looks like, the USS Ranger. I remember playing, no, I never played this one in World of Warships. Oh, here we go. I did play this one in World of Warships. Yeah. Bro, could you imagine trying to land with those smokestacks?
Oh my god.
Are you seeing this? Like on either side of the deck, there's smokestacks. So you
I'll do that.
You have to thread a needle. That's frightening. Anyway, jumping on up to 1939, as part of the British air raid precautions, the first of 21 and the first of 2.5 million Anderson shelters were constructed in a garden in Islington, North London. So they're getting ready for the Battle of Britain.
Yep. Also, in 1941, the outlawed Communist Party of the Netherlands organized a general strike in German-occupied Amsterdam to protest against Nazi persecution of Dutch Jews. Wow.
That's good. 6 years later, in 1947, the formal abolition of Prussia was proclaimed by the Allied Control Council, the Prussian government having already been abolished by the Führerschlag of 1932. So Prussia officially ceased to exist.
Yes. Goodbye, Prussia.
It's been around since forever, since the Napoleonic Age, and then after World War II, or, well, even before World War II, bye-bye Prussia.
Also in 1947, Soviet NKVD forces in Hungary abduct Bela Kovacs, Secretary General of the Majority Independent Smallholders Party, and deport him to the USSR in defiance of his arrest is an important turning point in the communist takeover of Hungary.
And those communists are always taking over shit. One year later, in 1948, in a coup d'etat led by Klement Gottwald, the Communist Party of Czechoslovakia took control of the government in Prague to end the Third Czechoslovak Republic. But what did I just say? Those gall-darn communists.
Yeah. Also, in 1951, the first Pan-American Games were officially opened in Buenos Aires by Argentine President Juan Perón.
Pan American Games, I believe, were a form of Olympics. This was, here we go. It's a continental multi-sport event in the Americas featuring summer sports in which thousands of athletes participate in a variety of competitions. The competition is held among athletes from nations of the Americas every 4 years in the year before the Summer Olympic Games. So, yeah, this is just like the Western Hemisphere Olympics, pretty much. Interesting. The next date is October 20th through November 5th next year. Interesting. Let's see if the world makes it till then. 5 years later, in 1956, in his speech on the cult of personality and its consequences, Nikita Khrushchev, leader of the Soviet Union, denounced Stalin.
Damn.
This must have been after he was dead, because otherwise he would have met his end real quick.
Oh shit! Hey, no, I'll tell you this later.
Okay.
In 1956, in his speech on the Code of Purse, oh yeah, we already did that. In 1980, the government of Suriname is overthrown by a military coup led by Desi Bouterse.
Man, dude, like, how many coup d'etats do we report on daily? Like 3, 4? You know, like it seems literally every day there's a coup d'etat. This is crazy. 6 years later, in 1986, People Power Revolution. President of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos, fled the nation after 20 years of rule. Corazon Aquino becomes the Philippines' first female president. Oh, well, that's cool. So not only did they get rid of a dictator, but they brought in, a record.
Yes. Also, in 1991, the disbandment of the Warsaw Pact at a meeting of its members in Budapest.
The Warsaw Pact. Let me look that up.
Yep, the Warsaw Pact.
The Warsaw Treaty Organization, officially the Treaty of Friendship, Cooperation, and Mutual Assistance, commonly known as the Warsaw Pact, was a collective defense treaty signed in Warsaw, Poland. Okay, so it was a defense thing. And I think it has something to do with the Iron Curtain and Soviet Union and everything, and then after its dissolution, no longer required. Jumping on up to 1995, there was a bomb attack on a train in Assam, India, in which 27 soldiers unfortunately perished. That's sad.
Also in 1995, British super middleweight Nigel Penn puts opponent Gerald McLaren in the hospital.
Ooh. Ouch. Okay, this is why I don't fight. Also in 1995, Muslim fundamentalists shot 20 Shiite mosque goers dead.
Damn.
Murders.
Yeah, there are two types of Muslims. There's the Shia and the Shiite.
The Shiite and
the Sunni.
Yeah.
No, the Sunni and the Shiite.
Yeah. I was just like the Shiite and the Shiite. What?
Also in 2009, BDR massacre in Philhana, Dhaka, Bangladesh. 74 people are being killed, including more than 50 army officials by Bangladesh border guards inside its headquarters.
Dang. That's rough. 2 years after that, in the year 2011, in the Irish general election, the Fianna Fáil-led government suffered the worst defeat of a sitting government since the formation of the Irish state in 1921. Oof. That's when you do not have the majority votes.
No, you do not. Also, my stomach. Never mind.
No, go ahead.
You do it.
Okay. Also in 2011, the French fashion house Christian Dior suspends its chief designer Jean Galliano after he was arrested for an anti-Semitic verbal assault in Paris.
Damn.
Yeah.
Also, closing starting off the closing of 2012, Syrian army kills 1,000 civilians in the artillery shelling of Homs and Hama.
I think you 1-0 too much.
I know, I did. 100. Yeah. I mean,
900 is a huge discrepancy, my friend.
I know.
Also,
100.
Yeah. 1,000 minus 900.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Also in 2012, Al Qaeda suicide bombing killed at least 26 E. That's not good. Before we go into the births and deaths, any articles intrigue you?
The one with Samuel Coates' revolver getting patented.
That is a good one.
Before that, they were the cap and ball ones, revolvers. Yeah, like a Lamat revolver.
I'm gonna have to say because that's a good one. The 4,000 people who killed themselves rather than being prisoners of the Teutonic Knights. Okay. That was interesting as well.
It is.
And also like the official end of the Prussians, and the USS Ranger. That's a good one too. The first purpose-built aircraft carrier.
Yeah, I also have some.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into births and deaths here. Let's starting in with births. Do you want to just canter? There's quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
In 1259, we have Infanta Branca of Portugal, the daughter of King Alfonso II of Portugal and Iraca of Castile.
Oh my god, I lost it. I lost the start of. Okay, there you go.
1475.
1475, we have Edward Plantagenet, 17th Earl of Warwick, last male member of the House of York.
Dang. 1540, we have Henry Howard, the first Earl of Northampton, an English aristocrat and courtier.
Yeah. Also, 1714, we have Rene Nicolas Charles Augustin de Mirepoix, French lawyer and politician who was a Lord Chancellor of France.
In 1728, we have John Wood the Younger, an English architect who designed the Royal Crescent. Let's take a look at the Royal Crescent real quick. I like looking at architecture. It's always fun. Ah, this thing. It's pretty cool. Just like a series of townhomes and everything built in a semicircle. The nice park in between. I'd like to live there. That looks pretty cool. Uh, 1752, we have John Graves Simcoe, an English-Canadian general and politician who was the first lieutenant governor of Upper Canada.
Yeah. In 1778, we have Jose de San Martin, Argentinian general and politician who was the first president of Peru.
Now that doesn't make any sense. How could an Argentinian be president of Peru? I thought those countries didn't like each other. It's interesting. 1857, we have Robert Bond, a Canadian politician who was the first Prime Minister of Newfoundland.
And in 1873, we have Enrico Caruso, Italian-U.S. tenor who was the most popular operatic tenor of the early 20th century and the first great recording star.
Like a tenor. Like there's sopranos, there's tenors, other, other music things that I don't know the thing about. Jumping it up into 1901, Zebel Marx, born today. He was a U.S. comedian, the youngest of the Marx brothers, and a theatrical agent. Yeah.
Oh, the youngest of the Marx brothers.
Was he related to Karl Marx?
No, the Marx brothers. Groucho.
Oh! Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Also, that's cool. Zeppo Marx is born today.
Yeah.
And in 1903, we have King Clancy, Canadian ice hockey player, referee, and coach who was rated one of the 100th NHL players. Wow.
Yeah. 3 years later, in 1906, we have Mary Coyle Chase, a U.S. journalist and playwright who is the author of Harvey.
Okay. Also in 1908, we have Frank G. Slaughter, U.S. physician and author. Can't smell slaughter without laughter.
Yeah, well, this just made me think. Some guy named Slaughter, who was a physician and author, did he write any books about, how a doctor would, kill people and store the bodies? He was a physician.
Who knows?
He could have written a tell-all. His last name was Slaughter, 1913, we have Jim Backus, a U.S. actor and screenwriter who is the voice of Mr. Magoo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Also in 1913, we have Gert Fromm, German actor who played the title role in Go. Okay, he was Ulrich Goldfinger.
Yes. No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. That's the right guy, right?
I think so. But yeah, that's who he is. He's Goldfinger.
Yep. 1915, we have S. Rajaratnam, first senior minister of Singapore.
Okay. Also we have in 1917 we have Anthony Burris, English author, playwright, and critic.
And I was wondering why this name was in my head, and he's the one who wrote A Clockwork Orange, as well as many other things. But his movies, A Clockwork Orange, Vinyl, Serenco de Bergerac, All My Loving, among many more. So yeah. 1926, we have Masatoshi Gundas Ikeda, a Japanese Turkish mathematician and academic who developed algebraic number theory. Japanese Turkish, that's not that, that's not that common.
Oh yeah. Also in 1928 we have Paul Everstorm, a Danish yachtsman who won 4 Olympic gold medals between 1948 and 1960. Nice.
Yeah, I don't know why you skipped poor Ralph Stanley here in 1927.
I'm sorry.
Was a U.S. bluegrass singer and banjo player who became a member of International Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. Now I see why it flew over my radar. Bluegrass. Also in 1928, A. Leon Higginbottom Jr.
Higginbottom.
Okay. Prominent black U.S. citizen, civil rights advocate, author, and federal court judge.
Hell yeah. Also in 1928, we have Larry Gelbart, a U.S. author and screenwriter who created and produced the MASH TV series. So yeah, the Mobile Army Surgical Hospital.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, in 1932, we have Tony Brooks, English racing driver who won Formula One 6 times. Ooh.
Yeah. Also in 1932, we have Farron Young, a U.S. country music singer, songwriter, and guitarist who became a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Nice. Also in 1938, we have Herb Elliott, U.S. 50-meter runner, 1960 Olympic champion and world record holder.
Nice. Jumping it up to 1943, we have George Harrison, an English singer, songwriter, guitarist, film producer, and the lead guitarist for the Beatles.
Fun fact, unpopular opinion, I don't really care for the Beatles.
I don't either.
1947, Lee Evans, U.S. sprinter and athletics coach who won 2 gold medals under the world 400-meter record at the 1968 Olympics. Wow, there's a lot of
I know.
Olympians today.
I know, dude. Like if you want to have an Olympian as a child, aim for February 25th.
Yeah.
Whatever 9 months before that is, start procreating. 1951, we have Don Quarry, a Jamaican sprinter and coach who won 4 Olympic medals and 2 world records. There you go. My point has been proven even more. And it's gonna have even more.
Yeah, also in 1952, we have Joey Dunlop, Northern Irish motorcycle road racing champion who holds the records for the most wins at 26 at the Isle of Man. TT.
I don't know what TT is, but
I don't know either.
1958, we have Kurt Rambis, a U.S. basketball player, coach, and 4-time NBA Finals champion.
Wow. And in 1963, we have Brigitte Fischer, German kayaker and winner of 8 Olympic gold medals.
Wow, dude, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. 1963, we have Paul O'Neill, a U.S. baseball player, sportscaster, and 5-time World Series champion.
Okay. Damn, just champion after champion.
I know, February 25th, man, that's the day.
Champions in general, besides Olympians.
I know.
1974, Dominic Raab, British politician who was the first Secretary of State and Secretary of State of Foreign and Commonwealth Affairs.
1981, we have Park Ji-sung, a South Korean footballer and the most successful Asian player with 19 career trophies.
Damn. Also, 1994, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Yeah. Uh, Italian international footballer and youngest goalkeeper to play for Italy.
Yep. Getting into the deaths, 806, we have Tarasios, the Patriarch of Constantinople.
And 1723, we have Christopher Wren, English architect who designed St. Paul's Cathedral.
Let's take a look at that. St. Paul's Cathedral. Images. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's a cathedral.
Yep.
Is it just me, or does that, like, dome just seem a little too big? Like, it looks like somebody went in and played with the settings and just made the dome too big for the size of the rest of the building. And then 1899, we have Paul Reuter, a German-English journalist and businessman who founded Reuters.
Yeah. Also in 1953, we have Sergei Winogradsky, Uranian/Russian microbiologist and ecologist.
Did you say Uranian?
Ukrainian.
Yeah. I put that in there
Yes,
because he's a Ukrainian and a Russian. And what's going on between those two right now? Not
in
good.
1957, we have Morgan, yes, my boss.
You were really muffled during all of that.
Okay.
You want to repeat?
And 1957, we have Bugs Morgan, U.S. mob boss.
Dang. 2001, we have Don Bradman, an Australian international cricketer and holder of the world record for batting average.
2005, we have Peter Benson, English lawyer who founded Amnesty International.
2008, we have Hans Raj Khanna, an Indian judge, advocate, and upholder of civil liberties.
2015, we have Eugene Clark, U.S. biologist, academic, and noted ichthyologist.
Yeah, good luck pronouncing that. It is what's this? An ichthyologist is a marine biologist who studies various species of fish classified as bony, cartilaginous, or jawless. Their work includes the study of fish history, behavior, reproductive habits, environment, and growth patterns. Interesting. Oh, this next one's kind of sad.
2017, we have Bill Paxton, U.S. actor and filmmaker.
He was the guy in Twister.
Yes.
Yeah, if you ever seen Twister, he was the main character. You know, Bill.
I've seen Twister.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I think he was president in Independence Day too.
I think so, yeah. Independence Day. Bill Paxton, Independence Day. Yeah, did he play the president? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Then in 2020, we have Dmitry Yazov, the last marshal of the Soviet Union. That's the end of an era. Wow. And
yes.
That concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar for any links you may be interested in for your dose of past events daily. Check us out. We stream every day, mostly at noon. That seems to be the current time now. I'm going to try to aim for an earlier time, but just keep your eyes peeled at noon. You can also in the underbar find
Sohin TV on Twitch.
Yep, in which my friend here, Sohen, my bro Sauce McGee dude, plays games, mostly, what game do you play? What's it called again?
Dead by Daylight.
That one, yeah. Anyway, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until next time, toodles! Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, Byron.